this. Is there anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
Hold on. Okay.
Hey everyone, Jedimike7 here, and I'm back with another video. Make sure everybody can hear me here. I know I've been gone away for a minute, but obviously you guys can see I'm in a transition phase right now and stuff like that, but the show will still go on. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. I thank you guys for stopping by. This stream won't be that too long, basically covering just a few topics today. Just covering a few things that we've been covering over the last past week. A bunch of news came out and everything. Also, we got new shows we have to address and everything. But yeah, before we get into that, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. Let me know about the topics you guys have, your opinions on topics we're going to be discussing on the show. It won't be too long or anything like that, but we'll just be kind of go over a few things. First, one second, let me get here. My brand. 1 second. And thank you guys who started will stop by. Shout out to people. Shout out to Wally in the building. Shout out to Wally. 1 second here. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to the Great Pill Podcast, man. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. I'm gonna give some things in order right here. Hey, Mr. Mandalorian. Nope, the show just started. Thank you for stopping by. They were about to be talking about one of the first things we'll be talking about is the new season of Mandalorian right now. But I'm just kind of getting here, my setup here, new location right now, struggle streaming already. But thank you guys for stopping by. 1 second, let me get this. All right, here we go. All right, I hope you guys can see this. Yeah, there we go. So let's be talking about Mandalorian Season 3. This is a new season on Disney Plus show that came out. Now, this is going to be a few of my thoughts about what I thought about the overall show. The first 2 episodes have dropped already. We got about, we just came off with the hips of, Book of Boba Fett, and we got some new shows that have been announced for coming from Disney Plus, such as the Ahsoka series, as well as Skeleton Crew as well. But I want to kind of address just a few things that happened in the first 2 episodes and everything. Obviously, we get a return of the events of Boba Fett, where we focus on Din Djarin, who's the Mandalorian, played by Pedro Pascal, which obviously this man has been very, very busy since Mandalorian Season 2 with his new show, The Last of Us. But yeah, I want to shout out to Gore in the building Damn Jedi, come here, find out Mandalorian has new. Yep, that's right. We got Mandalorian new season. I will be dropping the link. Anybody want to have a the show their comments on anything about the show, the topics in here. Yeah, because right now I'm in a new location and everything like that, but I'm still haven't got my studio and everything set up here and stuff. And a lot of things been moving the last 2 weeks and stuff, but we're still going on. But yeah, let me just talk about the first two episodes of Mandalorian season 1. So we pick up off of the events of Book of Boba Fett, where because the Mandalorian has removed his helmet, he has now been disowned and no longer considered a Mandalorian. Now, this thing, what I love about in the show, what they talked about, that my biggest thing I wanted them to address was actually going to the cups of the actual religion of the Mandalorian and everything, because we have other characters such as Bo-Katan, played by Katie Sackhoff. Have you seen? If you guys know who Bo-Katan is, she was in the Clone Wars series, both where she appeared in Mandalorian season 2. But one thing that I really love what they addressed in the show, at least this particular seasons, that we actually get into going back into the more, not just the nostalgia of Star Wars, but actually going back into the root of the Mandalorian purge and actually seeing the divisiveness and of the Mandalorian culture. Now the fact that Mandalorian have to come back into Mandalore, which has been purged, been destroyed, and everything, and now he had to go to basically be into the waters of Mandalore, so where he can be basically renewed as becoming a Mandalorian. But these ruins and everything have been long gone. But Kitty Sackhoff said, no, this is still there. So now he had to go back there. He'd been interacting with a few characters we've seen before in the first 2 seasons. They actually did address Gina Carano briefly, why she's not in. Obviously, she's been fired because of tweets that happened a few years ago and everything, because she was supposed to get a new show, which was the New Republic show that got canceled, obviously. But now we have that whole situation going on, but now we're in the new season and everything like that. But now we're actually going to the second episode where now he's going to Mandalore, and he is now actually going into that. Yes, this planet has been cursed, what Bo-Katan was talking about, but we are traveling with Grogu. And one thing I actually want to commend them is actually the visual effects of this particular episode. And going to Mandalore, we've seen the more, when it's more populated and everything from Clone Wars, but we actually never actually get to see what the aftermath of it before. But I really appreciate what they were trying to do, and especially now the discovery of what the Mandalorian symbol, where it came from, which was a creature in the bottom of the ocean when they were going into episode 2. And I want to address the fact that now this can give a lot of things to explore. Again, going to the culture of Mandalorian, because remember, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian himself, he's part of the Children of the Watch, which are basically called the religious zealots of the whole Mandalorian culture. But Bo-Katan, she's part of the royal family and everything. So I love that we actually get into, again, the religion of it and actually see this more type of discussion of their culture, which we've always been kind of known in Star Wars lore before. We're now actually address what they're be doing moving forward in terms of now knowing what is actually the true ways of the Mandalorian. This is the way. What is the true way? And I think with these 2 episodes leave a really good foundation the rest of the season to go forward. And hopefully we can get some of these answers, to the questions we might be having about, what is actually, are the Mandalorians going to be regrouped and reformed? Him having the dark saber, is he going to be giving it to Bo-Katan and everything? Because obviously that's a big thing. That's part of her story arc, the fact that she had this saber and now it's been lost. Now she can't obtain it because of the rules that Mandalorian culture have. I thought it was really good. The performances were really good and everything. It's a good first foundation for the rest of the season, I felt, coming from this particular season. But I'm gonna bring someone in the back here. We got Callie Bell. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Jedi?
Doing good. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you.
No problem. I'm always down for a good Star Wars chat.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a Star Wars fan. So yeah, I appreciate you for stopping by and everything. But yeah, what was your thoughts on this first 2 episodes of the season?
I think that they should have released the first 2 episodes together Not that I'm complaining about the first episode. The first episode was pretty decent as far as catching people up and, catching up on the side characters and where they're all at and what they're doing right now. Of course, we had the cliffhanger and everything, but it wasn't as jarring as the cliffhanger we had this week. I will definitely say that. But yeah, I think the getting him over to Mandalore so early in the season has me excited as far as where they can actually take the rest of the season, with the remaining episodes. Because, if they followed the same formula from season 1 and 2, it would have just been a season full of side missions just to end up, at the conclusion later on. So now we have room to play, basically, because he's already, Mando took a bath, Mando took a bath. So now we have the rest of the season to play and actually explore, like you were saying, the Mandalorian culture and everything in live action, as opposed to, kind of piecemeal it together from the, from Rebels and Clone Wars.
Yeah, because I would agree with you that I actually didn't like. For me now, I'm now being more older as a Star Wars fan. I'm only like 24 now, but like I've got past the whole like, oh, it's Star Wars, therefore I'm supposed to like it type of naiveness as a fan. Like if it's not good, I'm gonna say it's not good. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The first episode, I was like, it was basic to me. I didn't feel like it was oh, it was the most groundbreaking thing, whatever. But then I thought episode 2 was really stronger. In terms of actually going to the real root of the story. Because if we've seen this cookie, cutter, oh, I need to get some parts. Okay, well, you need to do this mission for me. Oh, I need to go get something. Let me go to this place and get this one thing to rebuild this one particular part of my ship or droid or whatever it might be. We've seen this story over and over again in this show. And so for me, I want to see something, new. But this actually gave me again the basis of moving the story further, but more importantly, giving this character somewhere new realm to explore, instead of just being in the same thing we've seen in the last 2 seasons now. But yeah, I agree with you there. But what are your thoughts on in terms of your thoughts on the previous 2 seasons and everything where we left off in Mandalorian season 2? Well, obviously the big finale of Luke and stuff, but even with the Book of Boba Fett and other things with this story, like were you a fan of the previous seasons or anything like that, or how do you feel currently with these new Disney Plus shows?
The first 2 seasons I really enjoyed, and that's partially because it's a new character and they can take it to different places. We don't have the necessarily the original movies to have to fall back on. We don't have an expectation that, okay, so this has to happen because this happened in Return of the Jedi or whatever. You know what I mean? Or this already happened in Force Awakens, even though I can't stand the sequel trilogy, but that's a whole other subject.
Oh yeah. Right.
But yeah, the lack of having the end conclusion already makes it extra exciting for me. I didn't necessarily mind the side quest because, at the end of the day, they did end up bringing the side characters back that he met on the side quest for the final conclusion. And I was really happy to see Bill Burr come back in season 2 and kind of wrap him up and leave it open for him to appear again. You know what I mean? I really did enjoy, even though Bill Burr talks junk about Star Wars and how it was stupid and everything, but now that he's in it, that just made it even better on the side note. But if seasons 1 and 2 weren't as good as they were, then his appearance in Book of Boba Fett would have meant nothing, and it probably would have made Book of Boba Fett even worse than what it already was.
Right. Yeah, because like my personal thing with that was that I thought the Book of Boba Fett was a really missed opportunity and really became almost Mandalorian season 2.0, like 2.5, in a way that middle of the way of that season that we jumped to basically this story, like the best episodes when Mandalorian showed up. So I wanted to, to actually enjoy it, but everything, but really became this whole big of nostalgia, running into your face and everything. Oh, I'm supposed to like it and whatever like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm like that. You can't sway that. The sequel trilogy already did that for me. You try to give nostalgia and all this stuff in my face, and therefore I'm supposed to like it. I'm like, no, I want good storylines. And for me, now at this point, we kind of been into a point where, at least as a Star Wars fan, like most of the content now has been kind of been lukewarm. There's been nothing on. There's no movies. There are plans of movies and stuff, but still in development as of right now. And so this is the only type of content we're getting, other than maybe like particularly video games and stuff. But I just really, well, I really like at least what the second episode of this season hopefully can be the good trajectory of like moving forward in terms of like having a better pathway of storyline within Star Wars. If that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. The way Book of Boba Fett ended, and I heard rumors of Boba making an appearance in this season of Mando. I'm willing to give a season 2 a try just to see where Boba Fett ends up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little salty about them bringing him back after falling into the Sarlacc pit, until I heard that in the comics or something like that, I think he actually gets out anyway. So, I had to kind of let that go. But I'm willing to give it another season just to see what happens, especially given where the trajectory is going for Mando season 2, and finding out more about the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
And we have the option of, him Bad Batch characters coming over into Boba Fett, So that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. But yeah, guys, let us know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of the new season of Mandalorian. We had another episode coming in this coming week and everything. I think we have about total was about 10 or 9 or something like that. But we still got a whole another month or so more episodes with this season and everything. But let us know in the comment section down below. Next one here. This is actually a precursor for tomorrow, because we're almost at the 1 year anniversary of the Oscars. Black Twitter had a whole move a year ago, because we had the famous actor Will Smith. He had a situation where he won the Academy Award for playing Venus and Serena's father. And then all of a sudden Chris Rock, the comedian, made a joke about Jada Pinkett and everything, and then now had to slap and stuff. But then recently we just had a comedy special with Chris Rock. He actually finally, almost a year later, actually addressed the situation and everything, which now that also caused a lot of controversy, because the Oscars is tomorrow. So this is actually just right in the realm of like, okay, we get almost a 1 year anniversary of this. But did you actually hear the comments that he made about Will Smith and everything that came out from the special?
No.
Okay, so
I saw clips, through my timeline or whatever like that, but I never did click and listen. I just read the comments up underneath it and kept it pushing. Some people thought it was whack all the way up until like the end. I heard the end was supposed to be the best part of the comedy special.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Basically, I can basically reiterate the comments and everything. So the only thing that happened really was, it really only, if I'm not gonna lie to you, he got what 20 million from this special. He had two. So it really, everyone was kind of skipping to the end. That was really the most part. He was talking about it. It was live and everything, but he basically was addressing that he's saying he is no victim of the whole situation and everything. He basically said that now I support Will Smith all these years and everything, but I'm now only watching his new movie Emancipation, just the way I can see him get whipped. And then the next one was addressing Jada Pinkett and stuff like that, saying I don't know, like Will Smith has selective outrage, right? I didn't have no entanglements. I didn't. I didn't sleep with my son's best friend and everything. Your bitch did, So, and that's basically most of it was that. and everyone, or people, the reaction, social media saying that it came in poor taste or anything like that. But I was asking your reaction, like what you thought of the whole situation. You think it's blown out of proportion, and what do you think us as Black people at this time, at least with this entertainment space, you thinking that we should just let it die off, or whatever, or just kind of just, this actually is the bigger issue in the discussion?
It's getting ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly getting ridiculous. Folk just love drama, and I feel like nobody was talking about it for if they talked about it for a little bit right after it happened, but nobody's been talking about it for at least 10 months out of the year that it's been. And then here you come with this special, bringing it all back up, and then talking about Jada as if she's the one that slapped him. I just think it's weird.
Yeah.
We have this weird obsession with drama. We
Mm-hmm.
want to see it. It's like the Oscars is like the new reality TV show now.
Yeah, right. And I think, like, for me, I just kind of like I remember that whole situation happened. I literally, like, the whole internet just stopped over this. I remember, we're kind of having conversations like whether this should have been a discussion for later and everything, for us as Black people, saying whether or not this uh, is it even worth talking about or anything like that. Wait, hold on. My computer screen. Okay, you guys can hear me, right? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
All right, cool.
you.
But yeah, I really feel like if Will Smith didn't come back on, sitting down and actually, was cussing on live national television on ABC network, we really would be talking about it and really thought this would have been a joke. But I think, I think there is a thing about forgiveness and everything like that. However, the point he made about selective outrage, I do believe that is a good point to talk about, because even this is in the media space, where we would choose one thing to be complaining about and go outrage over, but some things we just, excuse it as, oh, nothing, as, behavior that we really shouldn't be frustrated about. The hypocrisy, or the, double standard, whatever it all, want to pick and choose what to be outraged about. But I think as of tomorrow, I know Jimmy Kimmel going to be the host for the show and everything, but I really hope that this can just be let under the rug. He is banned for 10 years, Will Smith, though, but I think the whole conversation of it all, like, really going to be dired out, hopefully. But I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow. They're definitely going to address it. That I know for a fact, but I don't think that just keep doing this over and over again. We're just kind of beating a dead horse,
Yeah, it's been talked about to death, especially right after it happened and everything. They brought up Jada in August then, you know what I mean? So it's over with. I think it's done. He got it. Chris Rock got his get back or whatever. I think the special probably should have came out a long time ago, just so. I mean, you know what? Man, media is a trip, because I know he probably released this right before the Oscars on purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he had to try to get his clout from it and everything. But I think that it probably would have been better served for the larger public, and just to get the conversation over and done with. I think the special should have came out about a smooth 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say that's a question, though, because now the Will Smith did do a film called Emancipation that got a lot of good reviews and everything. But do you think that Will Smith is able to bounce back from this situation within his career?
No, because I think this is I think this was pretty much the nail in the coffin. Because it was already on the downside anyway, as far as the movies that he was putting out versus what people actually want to see. This is the era of Marvel, and nobody's interested. Well, I won't say nobody, but less and less people are interested in slave movies and pursuit of happiness type movies where you got to be all down and everything. It's a whole bunch of drama in the movie. People just want to have fun. You know what I mean? And escapism and stuff like that. I don't want to see real life issues on the big screen and pay all that money for it, you know. But I think that's pretty much the attitude of the general public. Just like in the 70s and stuff like that, when all the sci-fi movies came out, you know, you had your Alien, and that's when Star Wars jumped off and everything. It's that escapism people were looking for, because there was a whole lot of economic stuff up and down going on back then, and that's what people were interested in. So yeah, Marvel is the new Star Wars.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because I understand that like in these conversations a lot, at least with, you know, again, with the cancel culture of it all, which of like, you know, this can be very overwhelming for a lot of people, because I mean, especially I don't want to be in those shoes, but again, it's like, okay, is this really a relevant, you know, thing to talk about, especially now that Will Smith, you know, he's still moving, you know, we still got his show Bel Air season 2, which is on Peacock, which actually, you know, is doing very well with season 1, but he got a project coming up with Michael B. Jordan, which is still in the works, doing I Am Legend, the sequel, and they did years ago, I Am Legend, and so it's like he's still moving and everything, but I think again, as of right now, there still has been no recent thing other than with the red table talks and of it all that I guess, you know, put him in these situations though. But I'm just wishing him the best. You know, especially just to come back for us Black people, just kind of be, you know, at least not moving the goalposts in these conversations and making something out of nothing. But yeah, I don't know. But I will say that tomorrow though, what, you know, we have the Oscars. Coming out, and there will be obviously a bunch of news coming from there. But I know it's going to probably be a, you know, running joke. Do you think they're going to be addressing it at all, and do you think if they're going to try to beat it as a dead horse tomorrow? What do you think?
I think it'll be at least 2 jokes about it. At least 2. I mean, it's still Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's still Jimmy Kimmel as the host, and he is a comedian before he is a late night talk show host type person. So there's going to be at least 2 jokes in there. I think any late night talk show host would make it, that was hosting, would make a joke about it. At least 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But I will say, guys, let us know, guys, in the comment section down below on your thoughts on this. Do you guys think that? What's your thoughts on the Chris Rock special? I know it's on Netflix right now. A lot of controversy has been coming from it as of recently and everything. And but as of right now, we do have the Oscars coming tomorrow. I will be, you know, covering that and doing the announcements and everything on my channel, just to see on updates of who win and everything. So be on the lookout on that down below. All right, guys. 1 second. Let me move this. My screen is not moving. 1 second. You can see me, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay.
Give me like 2 seconds. I gotta switch my Bluetooth out.
Well, go ahead. I'm still closing out this tab right here. Struggle streaming already. But yeah, you take your time. 1 second. Come on. All right. 1 second. Hold on, guys. My apologies. I'm having technical difficulties here. One second. All right, now we're good. I think we're good. Cool. Boom. We good? Can you guys see me?
Yeah, I can hear.
All right, great. Thank you. All right. So speaking on Marvel, not saying that's the new Marvel and everything. There's been news that came out earlier this week, that that John Berthol's The Punisher has returned to the MCU. He can be appearing in Daredevil: Born Again, which is going to be the new 18 episode series on Disney Plus, which is going to start shooting actually this month. And John Berthel made an announcement on Instagram, at least posting a Punisher image of himself and everything, which is confirming that he will be returning. Now, the question that posed now that we have Punisher coming back in the MCU is, due to the current state of the political climate and everything, is this a good sign of them bringing the Punisher back? But is he going to coming back as the same Punisher? We remember him on Netflix. Obviously, with everything going on with, I'm not trying to, say things to be demonetized or everything, but like with mass shootings and other things like that, there have been discussions about Punisher, especially changing his logo, because, they're kind of insinuating, people, doing what they're doing right now, especially with gun violence and everything. But first of all, I will ask you, are you a fan of Daredevil?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So what are your thoughts on him returning into the MCU?
I am, oh, shoot. See, this is my bad Bluetooth. I'm cautiously optimistic. Only that Daredevil Netflix was so good and was so raw, and then you're coming over to Disney. If I don't see blood, I'm gonna be angry. I won't say angry. I'll say disappointed. Let me stop. I'll be disappointed. If there's too many jokes in there, because they did manage to put humor in Daredevil. However, it wasn't corny. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Ant-Man corny. It's still funny, but it's little kitty corny jokes. If it comes back like that, then I'll be a little upset. His appearance in She-Hulk, if the fight scenes are gonna be like that, I don't know. You gotta break an arm or something. I need to see your arm bend out of place if there's not gonna be any gore. I need to see your arm bend backwards and hear it snap and clearly recognize the fact that Daredevil just broke this guy's arm, and just the fact that they're bringing back Punisher as well. I think I'm even more wary about Punisher than I am Daredevil, because Punisher was worse than Daredevil was as far as the violence and the gore. And I didn't even watch the Punisher show. I'm just going off of his appearance in Daredevil.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited, but I'm cautiously optimistic, most definitely.
Right. Because I will say this though, like, as being a fan of Daredevil, and especially I don't think there's really no comparison. Daredevil show in itself is better than some of the Disney Plus shows, hands down, in terms of the quality, the grittiness, and what they have done. But especially what happened with his performance in She-Hulk, which that's what everybody was waiting for, and obviously the negative response of She-Hulk and everything, changing Daredevil up and everything. They're fearing, okay, are you basically going to give this dude a Nerf gun or a squirt gun or something like that, and not actually make him, the actual person that's a part of his character, but again, with the current climate and Disney just being PC, do you believe they're actually going to change his logo? Because, logo right here of him with the skull, like, that's very iconic, but they've been trying to change that up in the comics recently, but do you think they're actually going to keep that logo? And do you think, as a parent, I guess, is that going to be any type of negative imagery on your child if you're thinking that, hey, just because, everything going on, that's going to give him some type of idea or whatever?
I think that they should leave the skull alone. I don't think Feige is that crazy to take the skull off. As far as the parents are concerned, his name is the Punisher, for Pete's sake. You can't be that naive into thinking that it's gonna be like some of the other Disney Plus shows, especially just given how. Now, what gives me hope about it, though, real talk, is how dark. I'm drawing a blank. Doctor Strange, the sequel, Multiverse of Madness, how dark that actually went, that gives me a little bit of hope. Now, if they get a director that's willing to go there, like Raimi is, then it might be salvageable, because they were just teetering on the edge with Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, the parents should know better. Do your research before you let your kids watch it if you're that concerned about it.
Right. Yeah. I like me personally. Like I don't think this is gonna be a bad idea, but I am concerned just in terms of the story of the character. You know, just because people complaining about there's been a lot of agendas and everything that's been going around and everything, which has been destroying a lot of these storylines and stuff. And you make a good point with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, that they have that ability to go to that dark and gritty route. Like you're decapitating people in half, and you're incinerating people alive. You mean tell me I can't see some blood or anything like that? But again, I feel this for the fact that this is their biggest thing that flows for Marvel, what they're doing, because as a Disney Plus show, because Daredevil is going to be the first show, they're going to be going to 18 episodes. So it's not like something like, oh, if this is just a six episode thing, oh, it's going to be here today and gone tomorrow. No, we're going to be spending like a few months with this, and people are going to be like, if the negative response of this show continues because of you're changing these characters, make them more PC, I think that's going to be basically making them like shoot themselves in the foot. And I don't know. I think it's going to be a very bad idea if they're taking away the elements of these characters that we loved them from the original interpretation from Netflix, right? But it's Disney. So when this also goes to discussion with Deadpool. When they're going to bring in the X-Men, they said that Deadpool is going to be rated R and all stuff like that. But you tell us one thing, but what we're currently seeing right now is that they're being more PC now than ever, and just like not a lot of gun violence or anything like that, which I understand, but still, are we putting agenda before our characters and our storylines? That's what I think. I'm just kind of concerned though. But yeah.
Well, think about this though. They actually had Darth Vader snap a child's neck in the Obi-Wan series, so.
Right. That's true.
Kind of gives me hope as well. And then we saw that that stormtrooper get cut in half at the gate when they were trying to escape that planet. So I mean that checkpoint. So there's hope. There is hope. I don't think they've completely lost their mind, because I mean, real talk, that was unexpected for me. Like, that's a kid. I could see him dragging the adult out and choking him up in the air, but he got the kid and snapped his neck. So I was like, "Ooh, Disney."
Right.
You are capable, So that's a bright spot at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. No. You make a very good point. I totally forgot about that. But I'm just saying, like, because even though it's more faceless and at least with the whole decapitating body mess, but I mean, I'm just saying I'll believe it when I see it, and hopefully, when we get into more, more news and actually we see some footage, as we started shooting this month, hopefully we'll get some good things coming out of it, because my favorite scene from Punisher was actually in Daredevil season 2 when he was getting out of the prison, and literally it was like the bloodiest scene ever. He was covered, he was drenched, right in there, and to me that was my favorite part of him, his character, or the scene when he was interacting with Kingpin, and still that was a bloody fight, but still, it's like they take that away and everything. I'm just like, I think it's gonna be a lot of backlash from that. But yeah, hopefully, we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, they'll see with these showrunners and everything. Hopefully, in a good direction, though. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts now about Punisher. John Berthal is returning as the Punisher in Daredevil: Born Again. Make sure you guys go leave down a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.
Wait, can I?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about them not bringing back Iron Fist and Luke Cage, though? Because me personally, I thought the Defenders show was actually pretty decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a good question. So with the Defenders show, I think the fact that we've had this announcement of John Berthal returning, I think that is the first door opening to have some of these Netflix characters come back. However, it has been confirmed that Foggy Nelson and I forgot the other character name, the girl in Daredevil, they're not returning back in the series. Yeah, Karen. Yeah, they're not returning back in this show. So and I heard I think there was a casting saying that the wife of Kingpin has been recast. So I think I think what they might be doing some different iterations, especially when it comes to Iron Fist. Iron Fist was a poorly received show, but we had Marvel's Shang-Chi, which been a very successful movie. And like, well, why do I want this white boy who can do kung fu? Why can't have the Asian dude have kung fu? It's like so. It's having that.
True. I was just agreeing. I know I was just agreeing with you. I was saying true. I didn't think about that. They can just have Shang-Chi replace Iron Fist, but at the same time, they could merge the two storylines together. In that Iron Fist got his powers from that same dimensional universe or whatever like that by sticking his hand in the heart of that dragon person. That dragon thing that they had closed off back behind the scales or something. I don't know. They can come up with something funky, but Kunlun could be the I forgot what it's called in Shang-Chi. That alternate dimension where mom came from.
Yeah, I know. It's Kunlun is like that's the place is like a different dimension or whatever like that. But I think with that particular storyline, because I mean there is storylines with Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. And there's a rumor about like the sequel that they're going to be doing with Shang-Chi, which we know they're saying they want it to become a lot sooner than later. We do know the director of Shang-Chi is going to be directing Avengers Kang Dynasty. But with this particular character, I feel they need to do basically a reimagination of him, whether it might be recasting or whatever. Especially when it came to Luke Cage too, because I actually enjoyed Luke Cage very much.
They could do Heroes for Hire,
right?
Because Iron Fist was really good when he was acting against Luke Cage in the Defenders, so they could absolutely do Heroes for Hire and it'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. But I think with that particular, there's like I think it was like one episode that was Hero for Hire on Luke Cage. I think season 1 or 2. It was season 2. Not that to me that was good, but I think again it limits them because again it's like, are we going to still continue on with that vein when we know a lot of people really didn't like it? When it comes to Jessica Jones, I love Jessica Jones. Right now, that is she's a private investigator. There was rumors that maybe she could have been in She-Hulk, right? Because her and Jennifer Walters are good friends in the comics, right? So I know how that will go. I really would like to see Jessica Jones come back. But I don't know about Luke Cage and Iron Fist, especially Mike Coulter, the actor, said that he wasn't really I'm not saying he wasn't really on board to come back. He said that he basically closed the door on that character. So I think in terms of him coming back as Luke Cage, they're probably just going to recast him than actually just to bring this character back with the same version of him or anything like that. I think it's going to be a different version of these characters if they do ever come back.
Yeah, if they recast him, I'd rather not.
Oh, really?
He played it perfect. If they recast Luke Cage, then no, I'm not interested anymore. Even Iron Fist too. If they recast Iron Fist, I'm not really interested because he just had that innocent, rich look about him. You know what I mean? I mean, they did good casting when they did the Netflix series. So, yeah, I'm more strongly have a stronger opinion about it with Luke Cage than I do Iron Fist as far as the recasting goes.
Mm. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. No, because I think a lot of people have mixed reactions with the shows and everything. Because I haven't got my fiance on that show yet on the Netflix side of it, everything. So everything's still new. But again, I just feel like with 18 episodes, now we have the Punisher. I think that's opening the door for these characters to come back. Because I think mainly, what they're trying to do, they're just trying to wait until we get closer into the show. I think it's more of the anticipation, like, oh, Jessica Jones might come back, Luke Cage might come back, we have seen these actors like lie, saying, "No, I'm not in this movie or I'm not in this show, whatever." So who knows? But I think also with Disney now, you have more of the budget to actually, do the more visual effects heavy scenes that I guess was limiting these characters in Netflix. Because when it came to Iron Fist, especially, you just had a glowing fist, that was it. But what they did with Daredevil, which I thought was actually a benefit in She-Hulk, that you saw more free range of his acrobatic abilities, right? So I think that made him more interesting. So now that you have the money backing these characters back, because it's Disney now being the big conglomerate that they are, I think now, that they have the opportunity that if they want to bring these characters back, they now can give them more money for their bank and everything, and actually, explore these characters more visually to make them more attractive than they were before. But yeah,
Oh yes, I heard I heard that the last president, because they brought Bob Iger back, and he was the one that was willing to spend the money. It's from what I hear from the different critics and everything on YouTube. The other guy was cheapskate, but Bob Iger is the one that's willing to spend the money to make it successful. So there's hope.
Right. Yeah, and actually, and good thing you brought up Bob Iger, because actually that's gonna be the next topic in the Marvel section of the show. That exactly, because especially with Bob Iger now, he's returning as the head of CEO of Disney and everything. He had recently made a few comments this past week regarding the current state of not only Star Wars but the MCU entirely, and basically they were moving into the conversation of quality over quantity, right? Because this was a big issue that they had regarding Marvel Phase 4, and the people had a lot of backlash with Marvel Phase 4, whether it might have been some of the shows or the fact that we have some of these lackluster movies, like we have overhyped movies talking about like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Yes, it was financially successful, but critically, a lot of people were like, it was all right, whatever. Some story issues, how some things were inconsistent with WandaVision and everything. But the fact that we keep having these shows, almost 3 or 4 shows within the same year, and now after Marvel Phase 4, after Black Panther, now they're being like, you know what, we need lay off the gas and actually spend time with these shows and actually not bringing them out as much within a given year, and as well as these movies and everything, because they've been rushing it like crazy. They've been rushing the visual effects department, which has been backfiring them. Obviously, you saw that with Ant-Man with MODOK. But the biggest complaint was saying, oh, we just have too much content right now. We don't have the same amount of time to spend on a single movie to actually get the visual effects right. But what is your thoughts on what the current state of Marvel with quantity over quality? Because we've gotten so much in Marvel Phase 4 in a given phase that we got in the last three phases of Marvel.
The only show that I really didn't too much care for and I could have done without was She-Hulk. I liked all the other Marvel shows, the Disney Plus shows. What did you hear about WandaVision being inconsistent with the events in Multiverse of Madness?
Well, for one, you had the writer of Multiverse of Madness that was actually talking to the writer of WandaVision. For example, when it came to the conversation of them being Nexus beings, right? She's the only person that can, in the comics, the word Nexus mean that you can go to a different universe, by free will, right? You can do that. But in the movies, it felt like, oh, America Chavez is the only person that can go through the multiverse by herself because she's the only one version of herself. The fact that her story arc with the Darkhold, how she's flipped from what she did from Westview. So you know what? I just want to get my children now. I'm a murderer now. I can kill anybody I want. There was a bunch of things where this is like some people I was discussing this to. One, when it came to like the multiverse in general, in terms of like what was going on with her character, in terms of like she had this whole emotional arc in WandaVision, just so she can just be a villain in in Doctor Strange, and then like what happened to all this character development. Now she just mustache twirling villain. I want what I want and whatever. That's what I felt. A lot of people had like backlash. It felt kind of inconsistent with like, did the dude even watch WandaVision? So like, you know, it came to her kids. Oh wait, you want to go get your kids? You know, in a different universe. How about why don't you want to get different vision from different universe? Huh? No. Oh, you don't forget about that? Okay, whatever. So that's what some people had some backlash on that.
Yeah, but they kind of insinuated that the dark hole corrupts you. The longer you have it, the longer that you read it, and the more that you use do the spells within the dark hole, that it does corrupt you. And I'm not sure of the time frame between the end of WandaVision versus the beginning of Doctor Strange, but yeah, she was already, you know, on some weirdo stuff in the end credit scene of WandaVision. So I kind of expected her to be a villain in Multiverse of Madness once I found out that you know, it was basically going to be WandaVision 2.5.
Right. Now, see, now for me, my biggest issue really with it is because, like, I thought WandaVision was one of the best shows that came out. But my issue was with the overhypeness of Multiverse of Madness, right? How the information they gave me with the logic, right? Talking about Nexus beings and other stuff like that, right? When it came to conversations about where she going to be, like, is she going to be a mutant? Is she not X-Men? All this stuff. There was so much setup. I felt they didn't pay off in Multiverse of Madness. Now I got to wait till another movie to explain the whole thing about the multiverse and all the other stuff, you know. And that was my biggest issue.
I can kind of feel that. I thought, you know, especially after What If came out, I thought the Multiverse of Madness was more so going to be geared towards that. You know, I thought we were going to get more Dark Doctor Strange from the What If series, wrecking his, you know, doing damage to the multiverse that way. Wanda actually was a pleasant surprise. I think that it kind of hinted that maybe we'll get the What If Doctor Strange, just going off of him getting the third eye at the end of the movie. But it still looked like, you know, depending on how long the time span was to the end of the movie versus the end credit scene, it seemed like he was still pretty stable, you know what I mean, with it. But he could always turn out to be the Doctor Strange that they ended up having to kill in the what Earth was that? What dimension was that? With the why am I drawing a blank? With the council people with
the Illuminati.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I knew it started with an I, but I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we might end up getting the Doctor Strange, because apparently, from what I've heard, of course, from the online critics and everything, was that Doctor Strange, that's actually who he is. He does end up messing up and corrupting himself, trying to do the right thing, because like his girl said, he has to be the one in control. He has to be the one holding the knife. So maybe we'll still get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because my thing, even then, like I was expecting a lot more from that film, especially like when it came to what the X-Men and that conversation with everything like that with Professor X and Mr. Fantastic, which right now is still up in the air. We got the director of WandaVision. He is going to be directing Fantastic Four. So, but still, it's like what they're going to be setting up in terms of this whole multiverse saga that they said this is going to be, leading to Avengers, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars and all that stuff. And for me, it's like because of the amount of content they've been giving, I feel they've been focusing more on the quantity and actually feel like, okay, just set up. And instead of actually paying off these storylines you have been establishing, and for me as a fan, it's like, I have been with you for 10 plus years where you have done this to a point that because there's so much of quantity in Marvel, is almost some of the magic has been lost. Especially after Ant-Man, the recent Ant-Man film, I felt a lot of the magic of Marvel movie when they come out and everything, for me, it felt like part of it's been had been lost just because of only because not only the fact the decisions that they're making in these films, but just because it's just been a lot of inconsistencies with the logic that they've been given to us, and to the point that if someone else is just now just jumping onto the Marvel right now, I feel not only they're gonna be confused, they're gonna be like, there's so much, so much content, I don't even know where to start. That makes sense?
Well, that's the same thing with Star Wars. If you start Star Wars at the sequel trilogy, and or even if you just watch the prequel trilogy, now at this point, and then you go into like Mando and the Ahsoka show, and you didn't watch Clone Wars and Rebels, that's a lot of content right there, especially Clone Wars. Then you'll be equally as lost. I think that the Marvel Netflix shows and Quantumania is the actual same setup that we got with Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America Solo. They did a lot of setup before they actually came together as the Avengers. So it's just the same thing. It's just one was in movie form, and this time because of quarantine, we got a bunch of Netflix shows. Disney Plus shows instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna play this one small video here. We're gonna have just a short break. I'm gonna play this video and we'll be right back, y'all.
I'm Miss Minutes, and it's my job to catch you up, so let's not waste another minute. Settle in, sharpen your pencils, and check this out.
All right, y'all, we are back. If you guys just tuning in, this is the Jedimike7 Movie News Show. And yeah, we thank you guys for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. Here we're having a discussion talking about with Bob Iger. He basically made a comment talking about Marvel is now switching to producing or giving out a little bit lesser content than they did previously in the year, and go into discussion about quantity over quality. And we're asking to have a discussion whether is that the quantity of Marvel content as of right now is hurting the quality that they're producing out to the fans. We were recently we were just talking about just what our thoughts on the just recent shows and movies and stuff with the storylines they have established. And my personal opinion, I feel that the quantity has been hurting a lot recently just for fans because a lot of it's been almost like some people like it, been hit or miss. Some shows have been not been getting that much traffic. But the recent comments from the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, basically saying that that they're going to be making fewer sequels to already pre-established characters we already know, and actually giving more open door to new characters and everything moving forward, such as like, instead of making more having a third or fourth movie such as Thor, we're actually making more characters having their own movies and everything instead of actually continuing on with characters we already know. But I would ask you that have anything in terms of what Marvel has coming up, such as Guardians of the Galaxy. We do have the new Secret Invasion show with Nick Fury coming out. The Marvels with Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau. Anything you've been looking forward to, though?
Definitely looking forward to Secret Wars, mainly because of Fury and not so much for, I forgot what the name of the species is, the shapeshifter people.
The Skrulls?
Yeah, the Skrulls. I'm more so looking forward to it because of Fury and not so much the Skrulls. But I can see where they have to be careful with expanding that out, especially because it's kind of like everything is supposed to be leading up to Kang Dynasty. So right now, I don't see the connection with Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty. You know, and unless the Skrulls are unless Nick Fury is supposed to be recruiting the Skrulls to help us out anyway. I don't know what the premise of the show is yet. I haven't heard anything about it. I'm definitely looking forward to Loki season 2, because I love that first season. That first season, if you didn't watch Loki, none of this multiversal stuff and different timelines within the same universe and all that kind of mess, you'll be completely lost if you didn't watch that show. And dealing with Quantumania too, you won't get it. So I think that they kind of sold us a bill of goods when they said that you don't have to watch the Disney Plus shows, because they did say that at first. You don't have to watch the Disney Plus shows in order to be able to follow in the movie. Well, come to find out, that's a bunch of horse.
It's a lie.
It was a straight up lie, because they just introduced so many different things, and then, with the exception of Love and Thunder, all of that stuff is pretty much either has already been continued in the movies or will be in the movies coming up. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm excited. I'm mostly looking forward to Loki and Guardians 3, because I heard the High Evolutionary is supposed to be in there.
Yeah, I think out of this list we have here, God, this is when me bring up the banner down here. So out of this list, I think Loki season 2, I am looking forward to the most. We do know Jonathan Majors is coming back in that show as a different version of Kang. But actually, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is also another thing I'm looking forward to. This is the last film that James Gunn was going to be doing before he gets into DC and everything. And he's going to be the new Kevin Feige of that whole universe and everything. So at that, I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We do know that they're actually going to be shooting Captain America: New World Order with Sam Wilson's a new Captain America. He's going to be starting out. There's going to be shooting they're going to be started shooting in about 2 weeks, and so we'll be getting news about that as well. But yeah, other than that, those are a few things I'm kind of looking to in the short term. The Marvels has been delayed to November. The Marvels was supposed to come out later, in the summer, but they got pushed back. Well, hopefully that's should be a good sign. They're trying to work more for the movie, trying to massage the movie to make it more of a better product when it comes in this coming fall. But hopefully we'll see that. I do got Jedimike in the back in the building, man. Jedimike, how you doing, man?
How you doing, brother? Been a minute. Just just like I said, just doing some work. Right now I'm just chillaxing from work right now. How you been?
Doing good. Yeah, I'm in the transition, moving things. Obviously, everything.
I guess. Oh, okay, we don't have to discuss it, but I will say this. Just give me a short summary. How are the wedding plans coming along?
Wedding plans, it's coming.
I got
yeah,
you.
it's coming and expensive.
Hey man, listen to both of you. Just hear each other out on what y'all got planned out, and then you'll be fine. Don't overthink this shit. I always tell people don't overthink that shit, because like I said, why you try to do Michael Bay? Don't be Michael Bay. That's what I'm saying. But like man, like I like what you're talking about. And then I want to add to the convo. So I do know about the Marvels getting. I always get updates on it, and apparently from what they said, it's pardon my French, it's a shit show of what they got going on over there. I don't know if that's more to the wokeness stuff that Bob Iger said that he was going to do, because he was trying to make Marvel back to what it originally was, like try to recreate the same formula from Phase 3 and things like that. And I don't disagree with him, just because of how everything started off. I'm just more, for me, I want to know when we'll see more Moon Knight, because I think Moon Knight was a success, and also I want to know if he'll ever get thrown into the MCU itself, besides just be on his own TV series. Because I kind of want him to meet up with Sam and all them real quick,
Right.
And because because we are dealing with and I'll get back to Marvels in a second, because we are dealing with like kind of like Egyptian gods and higher realm like Skyfatherish type people, and it's just kind of like I kind of want him to have an interaction with someone. Maybe he can have an interaction with Thor, but that's just kind of weird because he's still a human with like with the embodiment of what's my man name? Khonshu. And I'm just curious to like what the interactions would be with when new characters meet each other. But the Marvels, hey man, I am not a fan of Brie Larson. I do like Monica Rambeau, actor, Spectrum, and Miss Marvel. Those two are fine for me. I have no problem with those two. I'm just wondering if Brie Larson can even just carry that. Well, apparently she's bitching about the title, so that's what I found out, and I'm just like, stop. It's called the Marvels. Like, just leave it alone.
Well,
like, stop bitching.
Well, speaking of the Marvels, we got Monica Rambeau, Tiana Paris, who's on the black woman on the right. She actually just gave birth recently.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah, congratulations to her.
Congratulations to her, dead ass.
Yeah, so so she's now a mother.
Hopefully the father's around.
Yeah, she's married. She's married.
Thank God.
Yeah, so no, she's straight. She's straight. Which, by the way, I will say this: out of Marvel Phase 4, she's been my most favorite character that came out of Marvel Phase 4.
From WandaVision?
Yeah, Monica Rambeau, love her.
Yeah, I like her. I like her. I have no
she's
problem.
The only, other than her and Kamala Khan, is the only reason why I'm liking the Marvels. No offense to Brie Larson, but actually, take offense.
No, take offense. Yes, come on, Michael. Come on, Michael.
You know, I'm not liking this shit no more.
Emotional damage.
I mean, seriously. You know.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like I said, those two are the main reasons, or reasons why I'll probably even see the movie. But please let me better Captain Marvel. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I do want to shout out to Wally. Thank you for stopping by, man. Wally, how you doing?
What's going on, Jedi and everybody?
Yeah, man. Thank you for stopping by. You have any thoughts on the topics we discussed today?
As you already know, I mean, I don't know if I ever broke this down to you. If I don't know certain things, I don't really talk about them. So as far as for the Star Wars development, I don't want to touch that. And but as far as for Marvel and where they
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I know you were gonna do that. I know you were gonna do that. I did that one on the freaking Thanos snap.
Oh, well, you asked for it.
Oh man, I should know it was coming. Yeah, but nonetheless, but as far as Marvel where it's going, I'm pretty interested. Hopefully, they don't mess up Blade. I mean, that's probably the biggest one out of the whole line that I'm really gonna look at. Like seriously.
Right, that's been in production hell. And everything they kept pushing. You know, they start shooting, then they say, but Blade is still coming out. But they're still in production hell right now. Find director and everything like that, but it's still moving forward. But Mahershala, he ain't getting any younger.
Hey man, I can't deny. But you're talking about Punisher specifically. Season what is it? He's returned to the MCU.
Yes.
Yeah, under Daredevil.
Is that John Berthel?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Because I've been watching this podcast, and I hope they bring him back because he's the best Punisher they ever had. Hopefully Daredevil will be rated R for me at least because I needed to be personally because they're watering down a little bit of some of the characters. I know Daredevil's still kind of like funny. The introduction of that terrible series, She Who Shall Not Be Named. But hopefully they do him justice, please. Because Charlie Cox is like awesome. He's the best. Was born to play Daredevil, and he does a great job with the character. Same thing with John Berthel. He's born to play Punisher, and I don't think anybody else plays it better than him.
Right.
Who else played it?
Well, also I will say this though. I'm not because Wally here. Definitely don't want to have a DC conversation. This is going to be the last topic of the night. Before we get to the last topic,
don't put that on me.
No. I'm glad you came here because it's like right before. I'm glad I went you had on panel come to talk about this.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but before we get into that, I just want to say before we conclude the show, get to our last topic. Thank you guys just for stopping by. If you guys are also watching the pre-recording, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on the show, how we can improve, become better, and everything. Any feedback is good feedback. So thank y'all. And I just want to thank everybody on the panel for stopping by today in the conversation. I really appreciate that. But the next one here, actually going to a DC conversation, is the fact that there's been for some of you gamers out there, there's a PS4 state of play that came out, and we actually got a more deeper look on a new Rocksteady game, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, right? And we got into more about the game and everything and the microtransactions of it all. But after we got the negative response of Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, they just announced that this game has not only that it got announced though, that they're getting further in development in the process and stuff, but this game got delayed again, right? This game has been delayed, been several times. It's been announced back in 2020, and because of the negative response that came out of PS5 state of play demo reaction, everything, they've now delayed the game, hopefully to basically deal with the issues and the feedback of the negative response. Now, for any of you guys, I'm asking Jedimike and Wally here. I don't know, also Bev, if you actually are a gamer or know anything about of this game coming out and everything. What are you guys' thoughts about this negative reaction? Did you guys like what you saw out of Rocksteady and everything? If don't, do you think this delay can actually make the game better, or is it dead on arrival?
I'll say this for games. If they're delayed a little bit, it's not quite the backlash like a movie, like we have with Suicide Squad or Morbius, of course. But with games, like you got to like put the finishing touches on it and add little details and work out the errors and bugs, of course. So I'm not mad that it's getting pushed back. That's not a problem for me as long as it just means more guarantee that it comes out even better. Like I say, quality. That's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, it isn't a bug up your goddamn system. So I'm saying that. I'm just saying.
Got you. Yeah, Bev, are you familiar with the game that's been announced, Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I don't really follow DC that hard. I was disappointed. I think the only DC movie that I really enjoyed and watched was the second Suicide Squad that James Gunn did. But other than that, I don't know. Yeah, they reboot too many times. I can't keep up, and Justice League was trash.
Every single time, the main reason.
Yo, Cali Bev, that I've been preaching that so long. It's like retcon after retcon after retcon. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, please just get it right this time, please. And if that's what happens again, listen, I don't want to hear nobody talking about DC. If they mess it up again, I'm trusting James Gunn. Please, just deliver, please.
So pause. So we're not gonna say the same thing from you know what?
Dude, if Marvel messes up, I'll take a 5-year.
No, not messed up.
We just got finished. Hold on, wait. We just got finished talking about Marvel. What are you talking about?
My Marvel.
Nonetheless, sir. With that said, I'll say this. As far as the game goes, I didn't know about it until you brought it up in my face. So I am very sporadic. And no, sir, no, I will not take the whippings. No.
But anyway, but Wally, what's your thoughts on Suicide Squad Kills Justice League? What did you agree with the negative response of this and everything? Like, did you felt that it was actually, now a first person shooter game instead of what Rocksteady has established as being the pinnacle of making a superhero game?
Well, this is definitely an anti-villain game, but nonetheless, I'm not gonna really have no backlash for this at all because one, this is probably the first time they ever did anything like this. So it's like, what do you expect? Two, as far as it being taking long, I'm not really worried about it. Three, I didn't heard about this. And four, I never heard about it. Like, there was no trailer really for this shit. So, can't really be mad. For everybody else that knew about it, I don't know how y'all got it from the grapevines, but nonetheless. But as far as the game and the name title, I find that to be pretty interesting because I believe every last one of them has their own arch rival within each one of the characters in the Justice League. So, funny enough.
Got you. I also have this, and I have like just have a mini rant on this because I haven't played games like almost in about a few years. I'm not even kidding. But I'm really interested. I think this is a very good concept. You know, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, the whole Rocksteady. This is within the Arkham verse and stuff. But this is my issue with this whole property that they're doing. The fact that we have not one, we have two games recently that came out of this issue. We had the Avengers game that had the same this issue of microtransactions and everything with this first person shooter and stuff. We had I'm trying to think of we had Gotham Knights. The same situation to making this an internet-based game. They got to play this game online or not. Instead of what they should have done was making the same realm as of the Guardians of the Galaxy game. That it was a single-player storyline. You can play the different characters, but you have one main story. But you have four characters, and in this whole showcase, you had basically these people all have guns. While I'm playing freaking Captain Boomerang, if I'm not using his damn boomerangs, I'm just using a damn minigun. You have freaking Harley Quinn trying to be like Spider-Man with these grappling hooks. You got Deathshot with a jetpack and actually flying and doing just basically being a standard first-person shooter playable character. But then you have King Shark, who's you think is going to be a melee character, really is not. All he has is a minigun, and you have a small cutscene for this for their melee combats. But then you have all this customization of these characters. Basically, again, battle passes and other stuff like that, which we've seen over and over again. And I think this is going to really backfire and going to shoot themselves in the foot. I just thought, what I saw I didn't thought was horrible, other than just them basically just fighting a bunch of cankersaurs on damn, planes and ships and everything like that. But it really wasn't that. It wasn't really that. Engaging and or anything like that. It almost felt like a Rocksteady trying to be like Fortnite almost, in my opinion. But I don't mean that as a compliment. So my thing for this is that I actually have an issue with Rocksteady. Why couldn't they just make a Superman game? I'm only here for the story, right? But you can tell there's also rumors that they're trying to make this as taking a template of a Superman game they were trying to work on. Because obviously you're in Metropolis and they sold you on being Superman and everything, but now we're just gonna have these characters and make it a first-person shooter with battle passes and microtransactions, and I think it's really gonna really backfire. And I know now, especially with Bev, when she was talking about James Gunn. James Gunn, he's now moving this new direction of not only just that the shows and the movies gonna be connected, but also the games. So hopefully I want these games to be in position to tell good storylines to be one good continuity. But Rocksteady, they were the totem pole of what is to make a comic book based video game and be highly successful, especially not only with Arkham Asylum, but Arkham City, which is game of the year and everything, right? When it came out. So when the time I was playing games, the Rocksteady was where it's at. But now, obviously, with this stuff, this is absolutely not going to be the case here. And this is going to be the last performance for Kevin Conroy after his passing, him voicing about Batman and everything. So I think they have a lot of it riding on it. But I just think that this delay just shows you that obviously not only the negative response and stuff is that I don't think this game could be dead on arrival, but it definitely could be a miss. Not going to be as big as was with Gotham Knights and the Avengers game. This game does look visually good, but in terms of the game mechanics and the gameplay and everything like that, I thought as a fan, I really shared their responses of what they got back from the demonstration, the state of play demonstration they had about a few weeks ago. But that's all. I leave that as a DC fan, and just that I just expect more from them and everything. And I hope that moving forward that they learn their lessons as content creators when they have almost years of making developing these storylines and stuff, that hopefully they can give these the audience basically what they're asking for. They don't want no more microtransactions. They don't want more battle passes and all stuff like that. They want an 11-hour or 12-hour base game that they can play and never play again. Just as it used to be in the old days. But I understand now we're in this state of profit and trying to make a quick buck. But it's really disappointing because Rocksteady, they made some of the best games in history, especially with the Batman Arkham series and everything. And I'm just kind of disappointed knowing them as a company. I know they can do better, and this is not better. But yeah. But other than that, y'all, I just want to say this will conclude the live stream of today's show. I'm apologizing. I've been struggling streaming and everything like that, but I do appreciate you guys for stopping by. I'll leave any final thoughts. I'll leave Bev. You have any final thoughts of today's show?
Nope. Other than I did click the notification bell, and I'll be back next time you on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You've done a great show. We're watching. Well, like I said, I'm always cheering you on, brother. And hey man, like I said, stop by mine every once in a blue moon, and we'll have a grandiose chat. And not just about comics, about the polls I put up versus I actually put up a community poll up for Blade versus Batman. And JP said something very interesting. A lot of y'all people put too much love and weight into Batman's gadgets. Blade is a freaking vampire who has martial arts skills who would dominate him, like the speed, strength, and everything. But I put up that poll recently, and I think 2 votes for Blade and a majority votes for like Batman so far. So feel free to check out those polls of the different ones, and see what you like, Jed. I know you haven't had a chance to look at them, but just go to my community tabs and you'll see them.
Oh,
but other than that, man. Say it again, Miss.
What's the name of your channel?
Oh, there we go. I heard you now, Miss. My channel is my name right here on the screen, Jay Takashi, and over there I talk about majority anime. We do interviews, we do rural topics, topic sessions, and then overall we do reactions. I won't be talking any relationship over there because there's too many channels for that, and I'm like seriously, and I like what I do just because it's more peaceful. Just like I like how Jedi does the comic book talk more a little bit more than I do, but I still talk about it from now. And that's one of the reasons why I like his channel. It's just because he probably gives us all the comic book content and stuff that even with his job allows him to see stuff before we see it, which is really good. Hey man, I'm still waiting on you to see Creed 3, bro. Whenever you get a chance.
Oh yeah, I'm pushing out my once I get my studio set up, I'm pushing out my reviews and everything. And stuff.
I got you, man.
But yeah,
I'm most likely gonna see it Monday for me because I gotta go see it.
Yeah, no, got that. We got The Last of Us, the season finale. Last of Us coming tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, actually got my fiance to go watch the show, so I'm got her on the side.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, so but yeah, guys, Wally, you got any final thoughts on the show?
Okay, yeah, real quick. The show overall, great as usual. I did not. Okay, so you said it was sorry about that. You said that the game was a first-person shooter?
It's a first person. It looks like a first person.
Oh, first. Oh, it looks
no. Okay. Then that's trash. Okay,
it's basically all of them have guns. All of them have guns. Why?
Dumb.
If one have guns, I'd be Deathshot. But not like okay.
But that's dumb.
What? Like, listen. Why would I play Captain Boomerang? I'm not throwing boomerangs, and then I got the Speed Force.
Like for real. Like that would be more fun to do boomerang. Nonetheless,
I'm gonna be tight, man. And listen, if it does come out bad, then at least you can say Marvel's Avengers is better than this shit. Just saying. I'm just saying. And that one's debatable.
As always, it's always been fun coming through. Your show always be as sporadic, especially if the wrong one comes up on the panel and says something funny, and then you have to panel slap the butts out of it. Here, watch this. Here it goes.
And then Jedi might gonna kick him in his kneecaps.
Oh no. But but Jay King, he couldn't be here tonight though, but he'd be back. Also shout out to him. I put a link in the information down below. And I have some ideas of other things or shows I'm gonna be doing because I like the versus idea Jay we were talking about, but I think in the way we can, because we still have to unite when you talk about Cloak and Dagger and other stuff like that. But
oh yeah, definitely, man. Listen, I haven't forgotten that we're doing that because I'm gonna start all over rewatching from season 1 right now, and then I'm gonna go to season 2 because I think season 2 is really where we're gonna get into the stuff.
I'm trying to break down just more smaller videos just of explaining things to people. Like I don't want to say give them the dummy review of this whole comic book realm or other stuff like that, but just like hey, like I'm putting my fiance on game right now. We're about to finish Game of Thrones, y'all. 8 seasons. We just finished. I'm almost finished that. Yeah.
Yo, Jedimike, you know what, Jedimike? You know what? I'm gonna say this. Why don't y'all watch Marvel's Cloak and Dagger together?
Well, first of all, here's the thing.
interesting.
We're going through the MCU panel, like up the everything. So we got her on the movies. We're still on phase one because we stopped because we had to go watch the boys. She finished all the boys, so she's caught up. You know, so
Damn, she faster than me.
no.
Way faster
I'm
than
pushing
you.
on game.
Damn.
I have a full course. You go subscribe to my Patreon, and then and now everything.
See,
and I
this
can
is
get
my
you.
whole point. This is why I'm saying she's ahead of me.
Right.
She got the backdoor offer.
Right, exactly. So got that, and then she got Game of Thrones. We got finished the last 3 episodes, but then after that, I'm gonna get her on. We're going back to Marvel. We started, but we haven't finished phase 1, and then we have to get through all that before we get to Disney Plus shows and all that stuff. But yeah, no, but anyway, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll be back again next week, and with Jay King and everything. But make sure you guys hit notification bell on your way out. Let us know. Comment section down below your thoughts and anything, how we can improve on the platform, anything like that. Till next time, it's everybody. I'm Jedimike. Peace. We are out.
Is there anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.